pleasure to have everyone here. I'm pretty amazed at the turnout that we got from the first episode. A lot more people listened to it than I originally thought that would listen to it. To be quite honest, I thought maybe it's just me and two other people or so. But we've had quite a few listeners and good feedback and stuff. So pretty hopeful for the show. Just want to thank everyone that listened, supported, liked, shared, reviewed, all that good stuff about the show. So really appreciate your support there. Hopefully continue on with something to good times. But unfortunately, this show is probably not going to be so much of a good time show. This is right now we are definitely going through something where a lot of people are angry, pain with the unfortunate and tragic death of George Floyd, that was murdered about 10 days ago, I believe it was, and it's tragic. It's horrible. I've seen a lot of my friends in pain on social media who are angry and pissed off and scared and sad and rightfully so. How much longer is this shit gonna keep going? We can't keep doing this forever. It has to stop at some point. And so that's going to be pretty much the topic for today's show is the murder of George Floyd and how it's been affecting everyone within the sports community and everyone outside the community. It seems like every so often something like this happens that gains a lot of attention, that hopefully puts a lot of people in a different state of mind to where they can think to themselves, you know what, maybe I need to think about what's going on here and what I can do to help. Am I being a part of the problem, or can I be part of the solution? I've seen a lot of NBA players, NFL players, getting involved in the marching and the protest and everything, and getting involved, which is great, which is what we need, because in our society, a lot of people look up to those athletes and to those star entertainers and things like that to be our voice and to lead the way, to help us see the light in new ways, because unfortunately people just don't listen to us. A small people here who don't have the big name recognition, and who's the big athletes and the actors and actresses and the musicians and things like that. We just don't have that type of pull, so our voices aren't really heard all that much. So we look forward to them to be that voice, and I think I feel like this has been a big momentum, a big shift in the direction and how everything's going, because when the murder of Michael Brown happened along a while back, that there's always seems to be media attention drawn to these horrific events, and it gets played on television for a while. You see protests, sometimes you see riots, and then you hear about it for a while, and then it kind of dies off. So I feel like we're, that momentum that we as a country are getting from these kinds of horrific acts that are brought to light. We need to be able to keep that momentum going to make sure that this doesn't keep happening. It's horrible. It's not just recently. It's been happening ever since we've, had this country, ever since this country's been founded, to be quite honest. You go back all the way to when slaves were brought over from Africa, right then and there, that's when it first started happening here. And then when you started, when black people were able to get rights, they were, considered 1/3 humans or something, and so they couldn't own land and things like that. So there is a systematic racism in this country that's been around for centuries, and it has to stop. It has to come to an end. And there's been some things going on in the sports world where hopefully can help make that happen. So I'm going to play a little clip here about some NFL players who have gotten together to try to come up and voice their views and opinions on what's been going on, and hoping that the NFL will, listen to their cries finally. So here's the clip I'm talking about. I think I got it here. Just 1 second. Sorry about that. Here we go.
It's been 10 days since George Floyd was brutally murdered.
How many times do we need to ask you to listen to your players?
What will it take
for one of us to be murdered by police brutality?
What if I was George Floyd?
If I was George Floyd?
What if I was George Floyd?
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 I am George Floyd.
I am Breonna Taylor.
I am Ahmaud Arbery. I am Eric Garner. I am McCormick Dunn.
I am Tamir Rice.
I am Trayvon Martin.
I am Walter Scott.
I am Michael Brown Jr.
I am Samuel Du Bois.
I am Frank Smart.
I'm Philip White.
I am Jordan Baker.
We will not be silenced.
We assert our right to
Peacefully protest.
It shouldn't take this long to admit.
So, on behalf of the National Football League,
This is what we, the players,
Would like to hear you state.
we, the National Football League,
condemn racism and the systematic oppression of black people.
we, the National Football League,
admit wrong and silencing our players from peacefully protesting.
we, the National Football League,
Believe Black Lives Matter.
Black Lives Matter.
Black Lives Matter.
Black Lives Matter.
Yeah, there it is. That's pretty powerful stuff, because I can't remember the last time I heard players come out and speak on something like that all together. I know when Michael Brown and Trayvon Martin and things like that happened, there were some players protesting and things like that. But this time there just seems to be more of a unified front from everyone in this country, and to me that's a good sign that things might be changing toward the right direction. But it's on us to make sure that we don't stop at any point. Like the conversations, the protesting, the communication has to keep moving forward. It has to keep happening every day. And I know me as a white person who has no idea what it's like to be black in America. I can empathize, I can sympathize, but I honestly can't truly know or even comprehend what it's like to live everyday life as a black person growing up in the United States of America. But that's a conversation that's uncomfortable for me to have. I'll be more willing to admit that, and I know a lot of people are having problems with trying to have that kind of communication and everything like that with friends of ours that are black and whatnot. And it's not something that's easy to do, but it's something that has to happen. It's something that we have to talk about, and I feel like we can't be afraid to say the wrong thing. I think that's what a lot of white people might fear, is wanting to have these conversations, but not wanting to offend anyone or say the wrong thing and come off as ignorant and uncaring. Because in a way, we are ignorant to this, and we're going to say things wrong that we don't intentionally mean or anything. But we have to get past that and be able to have these conversations in order to move forward, so that we don't have to keep hearing about this every day. And I think one of the things that rang true to me is hearing the players say, "I am George Floyd," and then "I am everybody else," and then saying, "What if I was, what if it was me on that floor?" And then I started thinking, what if it was one of my friends that I care deeply about, that happens to be black, that was in that position. I would probably feel like a lot of rage. Just thinking about it. I haven't seen the video, the George Floyd video, and I still can't bring myself to watching it. Maybe I need to, but at the same time, it's I don't know. I feel like it would just be gut wrenching to me, and maybe that's something I need to see. Something I need to experience just to keep that image in my head to make sure that this stuff doesn't happen. But getting back to my point here, I was saying, what if it was my son when he's older? Granted, he's white, and I know that white privilege exists, and so my son most likely won't get involved in something like that. Fortunately for myself and my son, but unfortunately, we're in the country where black people don't have that, aren't able to live life without worrying about that. And so, what if it was one of my friends, some of my loved ones that were in that situation? That would kill me. I would, I don't know, like I said earlier, I'd probably rage out. But the thing I don't understand is why people are standing around. It is important to catch it on video to have evidence, but at the same time, like I was thinking about this earlier, that if I was around and I saw a police officer with his knee in some guy's neck who's already handcuffed on the ground, face down, it's not like he's going anywhere. Your arms are behind your back. You're on the ground, face down. It's going to be very difficult for you to get up and make any kind of movements whatsoever. So there's no need to have your knee on the guy's neck and then hear him say you can't breathe. It's like, dude, you're fucking killing the guy. Like, arrest him, fine. If he broke the law, arrest him. He'll go to court, go to trial. Just get off the dude. But that's neither here or there right now. But with those players saying that, wanting the NFL to come out and say something, Roger Goodell actually came out and made a speech, and just want to play that for you. Oops, little technical difficulties there with the microphone there, but I just want to play that for you. And this is what Roger Goodell had to say about this.
It has been a difficult time for our country, in particular, Black people in our country. First, my condolences to the families of George Floyd, Breonna Taylor, Ahmaud Arbery, and all the families who have endured police brutality. We, the National Football League, condemn racism and the systematic oppression of Black people. We, the National Football League, admit we were wrong for not listening to NFL players earlier and encourage all to speak out and peacefully protest. We, the National Football League, believe Black Lives Matter. I personally protest with you and want to be part of the much-needed change in this country. Without Black players, there would be no National Football League. And the protests around the country are emblematic of the centuries of silence, inequality, and oppression of Black players, coaches, fans, and staff. We are listening. I am listening. And I will be reaching out to players who have raised their voices and others on how we can improve and go forward for a better and more united NFL family.
All right, that was Roger Goodell talking about how the NFL was wrong for not listening to its